Wichita County Commissioners Court into session. We have a quorum present. Note that for the record.
I make a motion we make Commissioner Mahler Judge Pro Tem today.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Let us begin. If you will join me in prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to thank you for the many blessings that are bestowed upon the people that live in this great country, that live in this great city, in this great county. Lord, we're blessed every day, and we're amazed at the miracles that we see happening around us. And yet we also know that there's turmoil in the world, there's sadness, there's loss, and we just ask that you would place your hand on the shoulders of the people that are experiencing that and bless them with all of the goodness that you can provide. Lord, we thank you for this county. We thank you for the people that make it operate. And we just ask that you would go with us in making decisions today that would be good for the people of this community. Lord, we thank you for our military, our first responders that are there to protect us and put themselves in harm's way to do that. And Lord, most of all, we'd ask that you would forgive us of our many sins. These things we ask in the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Let's join me in the pledge to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Be seated, please. Looking at the consent agenda, gentlemen, you've had a copy of it. It's a pleasure.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda. Any discussion from the audience? Any questions?
One question on 7 before.
Okay.
ES&S voting machines, does that include the poll books and
Commissioner Watts, you just got this. Did you?
It covered everything. They have agreed to do, on the poll books, it did not speak of that, but they said they do have a program that they'd help you from start to finish, both directions.
I have emailed to see if they would pick up the old poll books too, but I have not heard back.
Why would we destroy poll books?
The old ones that
Don't
we're not
connect to
using
our software.
They're not, they're,
Aren't they just a laptop that can be cleaned and reloaded?
I asked Ashley if she would, the county can't use them. Now, we might could donate them if we could to maybe a small school. You know, they might could use them. I don't.
Lee, I think it's the version of the tablet is just
old.
not, I mean, Lori, this tablets have to be 6, 7 years old?
They are, I mean, we haven't had them that long, but, you know, I don't know how long they've
Are they
been
even
around.
3G tablets, do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't.
Well, does this motion include those tablets to be for destruction or?
I mean, I would like for it to if they will take them. If not, then we'll have to figure out something else to do with it.
Do they have information on them, Lori?
The poll book, that's it. I mean, they have the software for the poll book on there.
But do they hold
Do
any?
they have an operating system like Microsoft, or do they have an operating system?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's something we'd have to, all we ever
They've only
used
ever been used for
for
that.
poll books. I mean, that was.
So we
kind of
would have
what
never put anything like Office or anything on.
No. Well, I believe what Ashley said is there's not enough memory on there for the county's use.
That's typically.
But, you know.
But if we can benefit a school or
Right.
Patsy's house or anybody that could use something like that,
They couldn't access your information once you purge it
No.
anyway, right?
I don't.
That was my concern, is there any proprietary information on there that we?
I can get with Ashley again and see what, you know, would need to be done before we had to, we
Because if
donated.
someone would like them and we could purge them, that'd be a great idea.
Sure.
Let a school have them.
Let's amend that 7 to read
retain that option.
To have the option to donate the poll books to an outside source, a nonprofit or school.
You get that, Nancy?
And I'll second that motion again.
Okay. We have a motion
That way
on,
we don't have to come back and revisit it.
That's right.
Lori, they also wanted you to let them know if you're going to that SOS conference.
And I did.
Okay.
I will be there.
we have a motion on the floor to accept the consent agenda with that change on item number 7. Any questions or discussion from the audience? Any from the commissioners? If not, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and the motion passes 4-0. Moving on to the general business, review and approve the regular bills for payment.
I'm sitting here trying to think of that bill that we were all looking at. I make a motion that we
Pay our regular bills.
I would second that.
Got a motion by Commissioner Harvey, a second by Commissioner Beecham to pay our bills. Yeah, what was that bill?
Trying to think what it was.
We had a discussion about it. Think about it for a minute. Any comments or questions from the audience?
Just a comment, I've got a check that we held up, and I just want to make sure that you guys are on top of that from about 3 weeks ago, I guess.
What was it, Tom?
Had to do with Wichita County Health Board. Anyway,
What was the
I
discussion?
think it was how they were using the tobacco funds or a
Something like that,
disbursement of that.
Right.
Jeff, I don't. Anyway, I still got it. I want to make sure you guys are aware it's.
Willie, would you check with Bob and see and advise us what,
We need to readdress that and make sure we're not holding up something we don't need to. I do remember the discussion, but, yeah. All right, anybody else, any comments? All in favor of paying our bills, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and the motion passes 4-0. General business number 2, discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve Alpha Omega Wireless Incorporated quoting the amount of $15,350 for installation of wireless link from the courthouse to the Lindeman building, and to consider and approve an optional preventative maintenance plan at a cost of either $2,500, $4,250, or $7,500 annually to be paid by transfer from the general fund contingencies or from the permanent improvement fund to line determined by the county auditor. Who's got it?
George or Ashley, you? Meredith, are you up to?
What on resolution
On what?
is
I'm
this
sorry.
On the Lindeman, the Lindeman microwave?
No.
I don't know about it, okay, Drew.
Why do we need to spend this money? That's a lot.
Let's just skip it till we can get one of them up here and we can.
Yeah, Ashley, it was, actually, the quote came to her, and I really don't have any additional information
I
on it.
would move we table this for lack of sufficient information.
Okay.
this time.
I mean, in a preventative maintenance plan that could cost $2,500, $4,200, or $7,500 annually, I'm not voting on that.
Yeah, we need to narrow that down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll table that item, and if Ashley or one of the IT people comes in, we can readdress it during this session, or if not, we'll get more information and bring it back. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and/or take action on quotes of repair of precinct number 4 road equipment vehicle storage shed to be paid by transfer 224.240.5001 to budget line as assigned by the county auditor. Quotes received include Santa Rosa Construction at $47,215, J&M Welding $49,606.88, and Weddle Custom Welding at $52,000. Commissioner Harvey? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Watts, I'm sorry.
Yes, I wanted to get this in front of y'all so y'all could advise me, as well as, the judge wanted to make sure that we had an architect stamp on it. And Glenda said whichever route we went, she would review it and make her recommendations and stamp it. But
At what cost?
well, at a cost.
I know.
And so she asked me if there was a great rush, and I said no. not a great rush if you can give me an idea of what we're looking at, because I explained to him that bothered me. Surely because this is driven by, one, the height and the volume of the length of roof, you know. I mean, it is not a complex job. We've all built more intense things, our homes, than what this actually is, but what wasn't done in this regard was any advice the last time they did it, because they should have never just used that lower gauge C-purlin, and they stretched it too far.
Yeah.
So Weddle and Morgan both says, hey, we'll use 11 gauge rectangular tubing. And Bobby says, hey, I'll use red iron and put I-beam, 8-inch I-beam across it. And so I asked Bobby for some more detail because I wanted to see that sketch. I understand the rectangular tubing.
Well, we just did this inside the city limits, and I built a carport that I spent money on an engineer. Why can't you use the same drawing and build the same carport?
Well, now, I'm not rebuilding any carports. My uprights are already there. I'm just taking my purling and tin off the roof and replacing it. Because what happened is, when that purling started twisting,
I saw it.
popped it,
I
the
saw it.
uprights went through the tin.
Yep.
So,
What's
I
the
mean,
square
I could
footage?
use it. I mean,
You
I
can use that as a
pattern.
template. Mine uses 8-inch iron.
Okay.
What's the square footage of that, Jeff? Do you know about, what's the size
It's
of
going
it?
to be from front to back, it's probably 50 foot deep. And from one end to the other is going to be about 300 foot. One of them's probably 150, the other's 300.
Is that the one that's down there that we had the merchandise under?
That's the little-
No, it's
On
the
the-
other
the
two.
north side.
Okay, north side,
The
okay,
north side and the center.
okay.
The center is not as bad, it hadn't turned as loose as much, but it hasn't warped as much.
I think these are the structures that we built several years ago, and we were shocked at the cost of the bid, if I'm remembering this right.
This would have happened when we bought that building at,
Okay, so that's before my time.
I
Harold
think,
White would have built
I
it.
think they already were there when we bought the building.
No, I
No?
think we put them up right after we bought the building, just for equipment. But I moved all my equipment out, I've got it out because I'm scared of them, and I just don't want to mess up my new grader or loader with the sea iron falling on it.
So what's your pleasure?
Well, I would like to, in my opinion, the Santa Rosa Construction red iron is the toughest, strongest bid. And I would like to investigate that bid, and then if we can use Lee's fella for the,
You're not, it's not required. You're outside the city limits. It's just more silly money being spent. It's a carport.
yeah, I'm totally with you. I would just like to move forward with Santa Rosa Construction and make
Second.
sure that,
Is that a motion and a second?
It is.
We have the motion that we accept the bid by Santa Rosa Construction Company. And we have a second by Commissioner Harvey. Any comments from the audience? Comments from the court? Questions? I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And that'll pass 4-0. And it would be great to look at those specs, Commissioner. Yeah, and I think that would put it in good standing, really.
It's
do you have the,
It's
you have
8-inch
the
iron.
drawing?
Yeah.
Just to- Yeah, then that's all I need.
Put us in good standing. I think we'd be in good shape. Item number 4, discuss, consider, and/or take action to provide a cell phone for Precinct 1 Road and Bridge for on-call use with cost to be paid from Precinct number 1, R&B Supplies and Operations budget available to lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Beecham?
Yes, quite simply what it is a standby phone. We had an incident over the holiday weekend where I was about an hour outside of town. Leon, our foreman, was at the lake and did not have phone reception, and I had
Bless you.
to dispatch a road crew, and I had a hard time getting a hold of somebody, so adding a third contact person that I can be assured of getting a hold of 24/7, 365 is important, so I can respond to the needs that arise out in the county.
Mark, is this the whole package, the phone and the plan, or or are we just
Just
reimbursing?
the simple, basic plan, just the most basic plan that we.
So we'll put them on our phone?
On our
then?
phone,
Okay.
That's your motion, Commissioner?
That's it.
What will the cost be? What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
I
Do you have a number?
It's like
It's
$35.
at 35 or 40 bucks, up 5, sorry, I didn't get that information.
Is that per month?
Yeah, on our basic, the county's basic plan.
Just interject on that, I'll second Mark's motion, but the hospital this past week was utilizing a cell phone / radio. I thought somebody came out with that 10 years ago.
Nextel.
They did.
Nextel, and it went away, but
What's good?
every single person, including editorial staff, carried those, and they jumped from one to the other. I heard both tones go off, the radio page or a phone page, and I'm pretty taken by it. It may only work in the confines of close, does it work across the
Yeah, I
area?
could be, we had Nextel at my company, I could be in Houston, in our corporate office, and flip my phone up and talk on the radio to somebody in LA or San Francisco on the radio.
Was this the same, is that the same thing that this guy showed us when he made that call that day
Pretty
on the
much.
sheriff's radio?
I think that's
station?
pretty much the same technology, yeah. I remember when those were popular back, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. I don't know.
It just crossed my mind, I just thought, man, it'd be nice if you could share both on one unit, if our radio would jump to that.
Yeah, particularly with our road crews, it would be pretty handy.
Extremely handy.
You
Something we need
just
to,
flip it up, go to their name, hit the button, it gives them a tone, like, go ahead, just talk on the radio.
That's worth looking into.
It's been around forever, it's Nextel.
yeah, for some reason, I thought it went away, but maybe it didn't. Anyway, all right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Beach, and we have a second by Commissioner Watts to approve item number 4. Any comments from the audience and questions? Comments from the court? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and it passed 4-0. Bob Hampton, would you call Tommy Smythe, please? Do you have his number? I've got it here, if you need it. He asked that you give him a call.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate
The
it.
check didn't clear? Okay.
Yeah, I've got, if you don't have the number, I wrote it down here, so he just texted me and wanted you to call him, so, anyway, so I don't forget. Item number 5, discuss, consider, and/or take action to amend Court Order 18.05.459 dated May 29, 2018, include approving submitted proposals for carpeting in the 78th and 89th District courtrooms with cost to be paid from 100.510 courthouse facilities with lines to be determined by the county auditor. Item number 5.
Got a question on this, I haven't been much involved, but would we not want to do what portion in the 30th needed, or?
We do,
One step at a time is all we're doing. We'll get there.
yeah.
So,
We can do one or the other. We can either move the original motion from last week to the 89th, or we can just go ahead and accept the 89th and do
what
both.
Well,
was
that's
it?
what we need to do.
Yeah.
It's about 4,100.
Well, 40, the original bid for the 78th was 48.45, and
But guys, isn't there some synergy to be gained when those boys are here to, instead of coming out and resetting up again? It's not like you don't have the money in permanent.
Well, we don't want to do them all at one time, we don't want them all back.
We gotta do them on the weekend, when there's nobody here.
That's the deal.
So they're gonna come and do one, and do the 89th first. And when that's all done, the dust settles, they'll come and we'll schedule the 78,
Then we'll do
and
the
then we'll
30.
do the 30.
Yeah, your point's well taken, but we don't want to take them out of
Play.
play for more than just a day or two, so.
Yeah, they don't have the manpower to do all 3 courtrooms at one time.
Okay, and then it hit me this week, and the first I thought of ever, on the elevator carpet, are we, is it necessary to go with carpet? Can we replace that area with the panel of a modern?
For
panel?
much more expensive.
Oh,
But we
so
we
it
looked
was
at
the
the
most
options, it was the
cost-effective
most
option.
cost-effective option to
Okay,
go with
gotcha.
carpet, so it nearly tripled the cost of.
Well, and surely that wasn't, if that's what a courtroom cost, elevators couldn't have been a great expense carpet-wise, and we should probably do them
No,
more
they-
frequently.
Yeah,
We've already voted on those.
But the elevator at the Lindemann, we are looking at a different option for it, doing the electrostatic paint like we do
Oh,
with file
yeah.
cabinets.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, really all we're doing is changing the order. I mean, as far as, yeah, we're changing the order.
Adding one, and
Right.
78th is already there, those courtrooms are almost identical, so we're just adding the 89th for an additional 4,800.
no, for 5963.
5963.
Is it a little bit different?
It's a little bit different on square footage.
It's a little bit bigger, I think, Lee.
Okay.
And we're doing it, we have an option of 2 different styles, but they're all gonna be the same.
But they're modern.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're modern squares, that way we can.
We do repairs.
All the courtrooms will be in the same carpet.
And we can do repairs,
We
we
can do
will have,
repairs, we can keep a stock of.
Is this from Regal's?
Yeah, they're either place, this is from Texas Carpet.
Oh, okay.
They're
Same
a
brand.
little bit cheaper.
It's the exact same product.
Is it like what we used in Meredith's area?
Similar.
Just prettier.
Yeah.
it's gonna be very functional.
Good.
Anyway, all right, so we've got,
You can't get any prettier than gray.
yeah,
Says the man in the gray suit.
Southern gray.
I like
Now, 78 be maroon and white?
No, they're all going to be the
Burn
exact
orange.
same carpet.
Oh, not burn
The one
orange.
that
avocado.
we- the one that we picked has little hints of all different kinds of color in it, but it's a subtle, when you look at it overall, it's more of a gray.
Well, they did away with our history department down at the University of Texas, so.
yeah. Well, Judge Fudge even said we could do it burnt orange since you walk on it.
Yeah.
He didn't have a problem with it.
But Meredith's profile of a carpet is very good profile, you know, I mean, good commercial.
The thing about this carpet, you had to depend on how you laid it, it gives a completely different look to it. So you can do half turn, quarter turn, and
Really?
it
Yeah.
makes
Puts a different,
it look completely different. So we can do each courtroom could have a completely different look with the exact same carpet.
Too complicated.
yeah. Mr. Beecham, is this your motion?
Yeah, to add
Okay.
the 89th at a cost of $5963.68.
Second.
It's got a second by Commissioner Harvey. Any questions or discussion from the audience? Questions from the court? If not, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And it passes 4-0. Thank you.
Understanding that we will be doing the 30 at some point.
Yes.
In the very near future.
Get them knocked out. We are down to, yes, we do. George, thank you guys for being here. We had a question on the internet hookup for the Lindemann building. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's number 2. Let me read it, and then we'll get your comments. Discuss, consider, take action, approve Alpha Omega Wireless quoting the amount of $15,350 for the installation of a wireless link from the courthouse to the Lindemann building, and to consider and approve an optional preventive maintenance plan at a cost to be the $2,500, $4,250, or $7,500 annually, to be paid by transfer from the general fund contingencies or from the permanent improvement fund, the line determined by the county auditor. George?
Yes, sir. We had wireless over to the Lindemann at one time. The mast was knocked off when they were working on the AC unit on the roof. And now that unit needs replaced. I think it's in the works to get the roof redone. So they're completely down and have been for a couple of months, as far as being connected to the network. We got the historical office over there, as well as the records management office over there. With the Alpha Omega, what we're looking at doing is putting a non-penetrating mount on the stairwell of the parking garage, and that gives it a clean shot back over to the courthouse. Clean line of sight, and we can provide.
Parking garage no longer is a county facility or in the process of being transferred over to.
Okay, we'll have to go with the non-penetrating roof mount on the Lindeman building itself then. Or a mast.
Why would we need to spend that much money for one employee? Is there an option, a different option? Is there fiber over there?
There's no fiber over there, no sir. And cost of running fiber over there is.
Yeah, I just thought, but is there, can they do DSL?
That,
I mean, she's just getting emails, right?
she does a lot of other stuff. She does scanning. When they call for records that aren't already scanned in, their archives, she'll scan them and scan them into the system.
And email them back and forth.
And email and whatnot, but it does require quite a bit of bandwidth to support the scan that goes on. So.
George, I can't justify this much money for that. I mean, that's a ton of money we need to look for an alternative solution,
Okay.
please.
Lee, that's how we get our records. We order them
From our, sure.
that way. So
Oh, so that's the
Yes, that is
need
the-
for the,
yes, we use records, RCAMs or something.
what have we been doing, George? when
Been
you-
down for 3 months, haven't been doing it.
Not very well. She's been over here most of the time, and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth,
With a thumb drive or something.
or with the records, the physical records. Brings them over here, scans them in.
And just for the record, they will be putting that cooling tower back up, I think in the last week of this month is when it's scheduled to do, so we want to make sure we don't get another one damaged in the process. Those things happen. What's the difference in this maintenance, this $2,500 to $7,500 maintenance? Is
Look
that
back here, right here.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't,
Well, here, I got mine out looking.
okay. Amount of support, platinum support, gold support, silver support.
I think we've got silver on everything else currently.
Just the basic stuff. I don't know. Gosh, it just seems like there ought to be an option out there though that would, in this day and time, I don't know that there is, but, you know, when you're saying the Alpha Omega Wireless, is that,
That's our regular internet.
that's our regular,
Spin around.
That's the,
Well, that's our microwave.
that's the company that installed the microwave system for us.
will this be a microwave setup? That's what it'll be?
And then we pay internet to a different provider. This provider
Yeah,
here
this just
provides us with a
provides,
microwave.
this just provides the link.
That's,
But-
yeah.
The big problem with this whole deal is that we just don't know what the long-term future of that building is and where it's going to fit into the scenario, which is what gives us a little heartburn over this.
But this is not necessarily, well, the repair, I guess, is, but we've been paying something a month for that site location, right? Or for the maintenance or over?
Not for the wireless that we did have, no, sir.
Why can't we go back with what we did have?
I don't have anywhere to mount the mast. And the radio's old, no longer supported.
So were they able to
You're
send a
talking
signal?
about non-penetrating. You don't want to put a hole in that roof.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we had the old mast mounted to the AC unit, but when they started working on that, that's when all the trouble started.
Came down.
Yeah.
Was it, so George, this wasn't originally Alpha Omega
No, sir.
system?
No.
But you were able to shoot the microwave over to it?
No, sir, this was, the system that was there originally was from back in the day when we were using commercial off-the-shelf, very cheap radios. We had those everywhere, which the Alpha Omega system replaced the majority of them. Well, heck, they replaced all of them with the exception of this one. And, because that one was still working, it only had 2 people over there. There was no need at that time to replace it when we did the rest of the radios. It's been, overcome by.
What does a freestand tower look like? I mean, what?
We had talked about that with Joe. We may have to go back and change that, Mr. Wargo from Alpha Omega. But one of the reasons we don't want to go back with the cheap radio at this point is because the saturation of the radio spectrums in the downtown area. We started getting tremendous interference on those commercial radios that we had.
What band were those radios in?
5.4, I believe.
But couldn't we make a permanent and have a caveat to our final lease when it's put together on the, to attach something to the outside corner of that parking
We
garage?
could, but
Yeah, we're still gonna own it.
It's not gonna be a lease.
It's not.
We would never.
We're donating the property to the Fort
it's historic
Historic.
ownership, so.
Is it a
But we
bad
did
idea to
retain-
retain that easement for a tower?
I don't know, we haven't looked at any of the provisions yet, because we've also considered doing some sort of reversionary, if they don't end up using it for the purpose needed, that it reverts
I
back to
see.
the county. So, I mean, I guess we could try to, put
Keep
something
a-
in there.
Keep
that
a
we-
right to,
Yeah, we were keeping a right to what, 25 parking spaces.
Yeah.
So we could.
We certainly could do that.
We could do an easement on the roof, I guess.
yeah, I would think that a permanently attached concrete drilled in
But
deal would be
why
better
can't
than
we
a
do that to the
freestanding.
side of the Lindemann building itself?
But that too, I guess. I don't know which one's better.
You gotta have line of sight, and the
Well, how do
other
we
buildings may be in the
need to
way.
get that?
Big Blue might be in the way.
Yes, yes.
But all in all, I'm not gonna vote to spend $15,000
Yeah, we need to look at
to,
some.
on equipment, and then have a 25 or a 45 or a $7,500 annual maintenance fee on it for one county employee. There's got to be another option that, we can hire Pony Express, I don't care. That's just too much money for one employee to have internet.
I agree.
And Lori, do you know the volume? I mean, are you able to speak to that, or can you check that out and give us an idea of what that volume is monthly?
Oh, she brings us records every day. We order them and bring them every day.
But, I mean, that persists even though you have internet.
Scanning data.
Yes.
They have not had internet for about 3 months, George said. So they've been back and forth, back and forth. They want internet, so they don't have to go back and forth. And I want them to have internet. I just don't want them to have an
$15,000 worth,
expensive, internet. We can figure something out, can't we, George?
Let's take a look at other options.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And really, she's gonna be officing here in the courthouse until we get the air conditioner deal worked out anyway.
No,
But we got the air
fixed the air
conditioner.
conditioning.
He fixed it.
Oh, okay.
In her office.
Right.
She's on vacation right now, but when she gets back from vacation, she will have an air conditioning office.
Okay. Table it.
Table it?
Table it.
Sure.
Table it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now it's time for public comment. Before we go to public comment, I've got a statement here from the tax assessor collector, Tommy Smythe, I'd like to share with you. Visitation with Sean's family will be Tuesday, June 5th from 6 to 7 at Owens and Brumley. All of you know about the horrific accident on Friday that took the life of one of our employees. The services will be Wednesday morning at 10 at Bible Baptist Church. That's on Austin Street, 908 Austin, as a matter of fact, corner of 10th and Austin. Pastor Mike Rucker will be officiating. Graveside services will follow at Rosemont Cemetery, 4441 Southwest Parkway. Now, as far as office is concerned, the tax office is closed today. I assume it will be Wednesday morning, but I don't have any specifics on that right now. But should be back open for business tomorrow, from what we understand. Anyway, he went on to say, we thank all of those who have taken the time to call, send a text, or taken the time to comfort Sean's family and staff. There is a GoFundMe account that's been set up to help alleviate some of the financial burden. And Tommy goes on to say, we thank you and God bless you for your support and generosity. So service is 10 o'clock, Bible Baptist on Wednesday, and visitation Tuesday evening 6 to 7 at Owens in Brumley. Any comments from the audience?
I want to make on June the 16th, Mascot Shrines bringing the Oil Bowl back. This is a Texas game, East and West, and we've been doing, this will be our 80th year. This is the longest ongoing high school all-star game in the United States. So, folks, tickets are available. I've got them in my office if you need them. So, thank you guys for the support on the Onions. And this,
Did it used to be Texas against Oklahoma?
It was.
it used to be, it sure did, yeah.
Why do we not do it that way anymore?
Oklahoma,
We beat them so bad they quit coming.
that was a decision made by the Oklahoma Coaching Association.
Really?
And,
That's unfortunate.
yeah, it is, it really is. And
That's kind of like the A&M Longhorn game that went away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
was a good game. But
Tell 'em-
the
tell 'em-
16th is 2 weeks.
Tell them where the money goes. This is
Money
a big,
goes to the
big-
Shrine Hospitals.
Right.
There's 21 of those, and we offer orthopedic and burn care to children 18 and below at no charge. So this is what we're all about. This is what Shrine's all about.
Help me just a minute. Those 21 hospitals,
Since 1920, it's what you, the year you were born, Commissioner.
I was reading a report, it's $100 million a month to keep those hospitals open. Is that right?
We're spending almost $3 million a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which should not come as any surprise.
But that,
Anyway.
that money is raised by Shriners everywhere. And it's an amazing blessing to the people. So if you got an extra change in your ashtray of your car, or want to write to a $300 check, we'd sure take you, wouldn't we, Bob?
Let's come to the Oil Bowl game.
And buy a ticket to the Old Bowl.
Old Bowl game, yeah, Saturday night at Memorial Stadium, and appreciate your
But
support.
is that the air conditioned?
Yeah,
It is.
It is. Absolutely.
We've got a weather report, should be about 60 degrees Saturday night.
We'll give you that weather report, Rich Siegel.
So Brad Shaw, yeah.
Bob, the Onions are tremendous.
They are great, aren't they?
They're sweet.
Sweeter than mother's love.
Man.
And the other side of that is I still have about 50 pounds left, so.
Maybe in for another one.
Bob, I heard good comments about your group helping with the feed at Mounted Patrol
Yes, sir.
for mostly out-of-town people in Wichita for the weekend. And great event, raised lots of money, Children's Miracle Network, and y'all are involved in feeding those cowboys that come in from all over.
It was a good function, yeah, it sure was.
And Saturday, our Scottish Rite folks had a fishing rodeo for the kids in J.C. Park.
That's right.
Fed them hamburgers and hot dogs.
Free of charge.
Yep. Had a light show out compared to what we were prepared for. It was a good show out. We were prepared for about 500. We had about 100.
Robert Reams chaired that.
Yes, he
did a
did.
great job, and Tom Parks and Rec, Texas Wildlife, what?
Tom Lane.
Tom Lane.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
And really motivated young man, and put that
He's all about the
finishing
kids.
touch on that. Of course, the reason we got away with that is it's all fishing day. No licenses required, and so people came out there. There's a lot of granddads and grandmoms fishing with their grandchildren for the first time. It was really a hoot.
On Saturday, everybody needed a weight in their pocket to keep the wind from blowing you away.
Well, they caught a lot of fish too,
Yeah.
Barry, out
Amazing.
of Wichita.
They put a lot of fish in there.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, they came down. Tom said that they didn't seed Lake Wichita because of the possibility of improving.
Okay.
I hope they do that before they kick dirt in my face, but anyway, we sure did miss an opportunity to improve that part of town. Okay,
Thank
Anything
you, Bob.
else?
Appreciate what the Shriners do and all that. Anybody else in the audience for comment? Commissioners?
Real quick, Bob, where can we get?
Come to the mic.
Just want to know where we can get the onions.
Oh,
Just see him.
You have come to the right guy.
They are fabulous.
Have a number to call you?
You can eat them like a peach. They're sweet as they
bag?
be.
Yeah.
I've got one bag in my office.
Okay.
When you have time.
Wonderful. Anybody else in the audience? Mr. Beecham?
Just want to reiterate on the tragedies that happened last week. It was more than one, to affect our county family. Just need to keep everybody in thoughts and prayers. And also, the city of Wichita Falls, they lost a firefighter over the weekend as well.
You guys know me, I'm all about my
I don't know the details, but
It's Hawkins, Mr. Hawkins, wasn't it?
I believe so. So, this was a rough week for city and county government, so just keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers.
You're tough. Thank you, Commissioner Harvey.
I was sitting there trying to think what all we did last week. I did know we did help, RCA did help with the Scottish Rite fishing deal for the kids. June the 16th, the same day as the Oil Bowl, which is a Saturday, Redneck Culinary Academy is going to cook hamburgers and hot dogs, and I believe it's in Lucy Park for all the foster children in our area. So that ought to be lots of fun. We did that in Burke Burnett last year at the Splash Park. Those kids had a blast, so anyway, I encourage you to come out for that. Other than that, that's all I can think of right now. Condolences to our tax office. It was just devastated, so
Yeah.
we just need to keep those folks in our prayers.
Road work continuing. We're very busy. We're trying to mow and trying to do prep work and trying to get ready to chip seal, and there's just lots of activity out there. So if you're driving on our county roads, watch out for our guys that are working and keep them safe. Other than that, just a pretty busy time, and good grief, come on rain.
Yeah, we would have started chip seal today in precinct 1 had it not had rain in the forecast,
Yeah.
but probably go tomorrow.
Well, if you go ahead and start chip sealing, maybe it'll rain.
Maybe it will. That's what happened to us last time, it rained us out.
We need the rain.
We might take up a collection, you know,
Yeah.
so that might be the Commissioner Watts.
Precinct 4 is preparing to help Precinct 1 with some work there as soon as they're underway, and then we are in the midst of waiting. They've been prepping our stuff and ready to prime as well, so we have that going on. I wanted to mention on Mark's comment, y'all may have saw yesterday a great Wichita County fella, business owner here in Wichita County, Cotty Jackson, passed away.
Yes.
Cotty had a heart attack at not very old, and he was Shade Tree Nursery, did a lot of work commercially around town, and just a fine fella. So keep his family in your prayers if you would. That's just a tragic, out of the clear blue.
Nancy? No report.
Oh, I have something.
What do you got?
This Friday, Nancy's gonna prepare a special dessert for Commissioners Court.
Please don't broadcast that.
And I am so excited, it's gonna be Butterfinger cheesecake.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now,
Does that sound good?
or?
But nobody is invited, so. Let's get that straight.
I told her to make a great deal.
Get that
only
straight.
gave me $20.
Yeah.
Well, you paid the other 20.
Yeah. Don't forget, once again, let me reiterate, visitation for Sean's family will be Tuesday, tomorrow, 6 to 7 at Owens Brumley. The funeral service will be at 10. We have court Wednesday morning at 9, and I'm sure we'll be attending the service too, but we may have to go into recess for a while to attend that service, but that's still on the plan. 10 o'clock at Bible Baptist. Anything else to come before the court?
Did we have any budget
It's
work?
on the agenda if you want to come back.
What's the pleasure of the court?
You know we're wasting our time without Woody being here.
Well, that's true. I agree. We got lots of
I
other
mean,
things.
just call it what it is.
I mean, it is, yeah. He's gonna bring it back when he comes back.
Yeah, we can solve everything, but we'd have to solve it again when
In
we
a
come home.
few, in a few days, so anyway. With that in mind, then, gentlemen, it's 10:47, court is adjourned.
I don't mean to take that.
That's when you run, Dad.